day, students, and welcome to another day of learning and fun. I am Miss Valerie, and I will help you in understanding your English 8 module. So how's your day? I hope you're all feeling fine. So grab your pen and your notebook, listen, and let's have fun.
Lesson 1, Determining Meanings of Words and Expressions. For our objective, at the end of this lesson, you will be able to identify the meaning of words through context clues and give examples of the different types of context clues. But before we begin, let's have a quick review. All you have to do is to identify the meaning of the bold words. Choose the letter of the correct answer. Let's start. You have 1 minute to finish the 2 items. Last 30 seconds. Last 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and time's up. Let's see if your answers are correct. For number 1, let's read. An oracle is said to have the ability to foresee the future. Our answer is letter B, fortune teller. So oracle is similar with fortune teller. For number 2, people who are despicable should not be avoided. Instead, they should be loved. And the answer is letter C, mean. So when we say despicable, it means mean. Now let's ponder, class. How do you find the drill? Is it easy or is it too difficult? And did you get the correct meaning of the words? Another is, what words or phrases in the sentences helped you know the meaning of the word? And lastly, what do you call these words and phrases? And that will be our topic for today. So those words and phrases that helped you in understanding the meaning of the unfamiliar words is what we call context clues. So by definition, we say context clues are words that appear in sentences to help understand the meanings of difficult words. So it aids us in understanding the meaning of those unfamiliar words that we encounter in our sentences. Let's have this example. Let's read. As a writer, Dr. Jose Rizal used several pseudonyms so as not to reveal his real identity. What do you think is the meaning of the word pseudonym? So by looking at the sentence, we can easily analyze that pseudonym is an example of a pen name. So what helped us in understanding the meaning of pseudonym? The phrase or the words, not to reveal. So we use pen names for us to hide our identity, for not to reveal our identity to our readers. Now we have different types of context clues. Let's have the first one. Number 1 is definition. So definition means the unfamiliar word is defined in a sentence. When we say defined, given meaning. So let's have this example. An archaeologist is a person who searches for treasures from sunken ships and ancient tombs to obtain valuable relics, artifacts, and relics such as the Balanghay boat. So our unfamiliar word here is archaeologist. But by looking at the sentence, we can easily identify or we can easily comprehend that archaeologist is someone or a person who searches for treasures. Okay? Like from ships or ancient tombs. Let's have the second type of context clues. We have synonyms. So synonyms, those are similar words which are placed in the same sentence to know the meaning of the unfamiliar words. So commonly, you can see a clue here which is the word or. So let's take a look in our example. It is common for Filipinos to feel compassion or pity for the suffering of their fellow men. Our unfamiliar word here is compassion. But upon reading the sentence, we can identify that the meaning of compassion is pity by the word or. Meaning, compassion and pity is the same. It's almost the same in meaning. Let's have the second one. If you have the synonym, we have the antonym. So, antonym, an opposite word is placed in the same sentence. So, an opposite word or kabaliktaran. Let's have this example. Among the siblings of teen body structure, Isabel is the only one who is portly. Our unfamiliar word here is portly. By analyzing our sentence, we can easily say that portly is the opposite of the word thin. So we can easily conclude that portly is something that is stout or fat. Next we have comparison. A similar word with the same meaning of the unfamiliar word is placed with an object to be compared. So by reading the sentence, we can find the word like. We compare the unfamiliar word to something that is very familiar to us, like the word stench. By reading the sentence, we can easily identify that the meaning of stench is something that is smelly or mabaho. Next, we have examples. So, samples are provided in the sentence to understand the meaning of the unfamiliar words. Let's have this example. In ancient times, some of our forefathers believed in amulets, such as pearl of the crocodile, pearl of the axe, bullet necklace, and bags of herbs to protect them from harm. Our unfamiliar word here is amulet. But by giving examples, such as pearl of the crocodile, pearl of the axe, bullets, and so on, we can easily say that amulets is something that is indigenous and can protect us from harm. Next, we have explanation. So, description is given to understand the meaning of the unfamiliar word. So, we explain, we give description, we describe the word for us to easily understand it. Let's have this. Matthew had few infractions of the house rules that he should have done as part of his responsibility. Our unfamiliar word is infraction. So we can conclude that infraction is something that we violate or violation because Matthew had few infractions or violations of the house rules. Next, we have the cause and effect. So the meaning of the difficult word depends on the cause-effect relationship of other words as expressed in the sentence. Let's have this. Since only a few followed the wearing of face masks, it was made mandatory by the government. Our unfamiliar word here is mandatory. So by analyzing our sentence, we can easily understand that mandatory is something that is required by the government because only a few follow the wearing of the face mask. That is why it is made mandatory or compulsory or it is required by the government. Next, we have the list or series of clues. So to understand the meaning of the unknown word, it is included in a series of words given in the sentence. So a list of examples or clues were given right after the unfamiliar word. Say for example, our unfamiliar word is rubbish. So rubbish can be souvenir programs, flyers, leaflets, plastic bottles, and food wrappings. Next, we have inference. So to understand the meaning of the unknown word, one has to make a guess based on the description given in the sentence. And it is not like the ordinary guess that we usually do. It means intelligent guess. Okay, so let's have this example. When one shows hospitality, kind words and welcoming actions can be observed among Filipinos. So here, the meaning of the hospitality is not directly explained or directly stated in the sentence, but rather it uses examples or it uses clues that will help us identify the meaning of hospitality. So if we would analyze, kind words and welcoming actions, those are examples or those can be equated to the word hospitality. Now let's try if you really understood our discussion. So the same with our instruction in our review. So all you have to do is to identify the meaning of the unfamiliar words highlighted in our sentence. So for number 1, it was an awful day, horrible and dreadful for the third time. The casting of the great bell was unsuccessful. So what do you think is the meaning of the word awful? And let's see. Very good. The meaning of awful is fearful or something horrible, dreadful, nakakatakot in Tagalog. Number 2. Koan Yu might think that the result of the making of the great bell for the third time and last time was much more likely an egregious failure because of what happened to his daughter. So what do we mean by egregious? Glaring, grievous, scandalous, and or shameful. Let's see. So it means grievous. Let's have this one. His animosity or ill feeling because of what happened to his daughter was so great. Anger, bitterness, hate, or malice. So what do we mean by animosity? So it means B, bitterness or ill feeling, pagiging bitter. Next we have 4. Wild with his grief, he felt deep remorse and would have leaped in after his daughter, but strong men held him back. So what do we mean by remorse? Is it guilt, regret, shame, or sorrow? Let's see. It means sorrow. Okay? So our clue here is wild with his grief. Very, very sad or feeling sorrowful. So that is remorse. Next we have the 5th and the last one. How the blending with the well-blended brass and gold with the intermingling of the silver and the iron after Kongay leaped was a conundrum. A puzzle that's difficult to solve. Oh, and conundrum means mystery. Diba? A puzzle that is difficult to solve, that is something mysterious. So, conundrum means mystery. Now, after our discussion, go to our Google Classroom and then answer Assessment 1 and Assessment 2. So, our deadline is until 5 p.m. today. Thank you for listening. Bye!
That's all for today, class. Once again, I am Miss Val